everybody, this is Frizzle Bobbin here, and welcome to the NASCAR Skittles Cup Series racing for race number 2 at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the running of the Cheerios 400. So after a very interesting endurance-y race at the Daytona 500, we now have made it to Homestead for the second race of the season. So without further ado, let's now give you your starting grid for the race. Starting on the pole is Martin Truex Jr. Starting alongside him in second is the real Xbox Nerd. Third is Frontzo Bobbin. Fourth is Kyle Busch. Fifth is Chase Elliott. Sixth is Kevin Harvick. Seventh is William Byron. Eighth is Bank Coaches. Ninth is Danny Hamlin. 10th is Brad Keselowski. 11th is Jamie McMurray. 12th is Purser. 13th is Clint Boyer. 14th is Tim Tom. 15th is Gridrin, 16th is Joey Logano, 17th is Kyle Larson, 18th is Ryan Newman, 19th is Duck, 20th is Donald, 21st is Oliver, 22nd is Ryan Blaney, 23rd is Douglas, 24th is Daniel Suarez, 25th is Rebecca, 26th is Kurt Busch, 27th is Bud Wallace, 28th is Jimmy Johnson, 29th is Alex Bowman, 30th is Nia, 31st is Daniel 6, 32nd is Eric Jones, 33rd is Austin Dillon, 34th is Eric Almirola, 35th is Paul Menard, 36th is Mr. Light's brother, 37th is Mr. Lighty, 38th is Derper, 39th is Mommy, 40th is Landon Castle, 41st is Reed Sorensen, and starting dead last as always is Can't Drive. A very interesting field for today's race, and after everyone suffered from defeat after Frontzo Bobbin won the Daytona 500 for the first time since his rookie season 2003. Several drivers now want to win here at Homestead, and we could see a differing winner, or we could see Frontzo Bobbin win 2 in a row, or who knows, we could see Bank Coaches win this race. You know, Bank Coaches did win the Siemens National Series race here. Nearly messed up the series names, but Bank Coaches won the NASCAR Siemens National Series race here yesterday in a bit of a slightly messed up looking car, at least in terms of the front. That was going to be an interesting winning paint scheme. But either way, that was the Siemens National Series race. This is the Skittles Cup Series race. While some of these drivers did compete in the Siemens National Series race, we'll have to see if their experience pays off today here in the Skittles Cup Series race. So that begs the question, who will win? Will we see another lap 1 crash? We'll have to find out. And we will find out who wins 81 laps from now at the Homestead Miami Speedway. As everyone is in high gear, high revs, as they just come off of turn number 4. Martin Truex Jr. and the real Xbox will be leading the field to the green flag. And green flag is underway. We are underway for the running of the Cheerios 400 at the Homestead. Already several drivers are now boxing into each other. Many drivers want to make up the positions already. Frontzo Bobbin looking underneath Martin Truex Jr. for the lead. Frontzo Bobbin driving an alternative paint scheme, driving the Bank Coaches car. Which conveniently was the car that Bank Coaches himself was driving in the Siemens National Series race. And Bank Coaches is driving here today in this race. So Frontzo Bobbin and Bank Coaches in twin cars. And with that being said, Frontzo Bobbin now with an early lead here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Although several drivers are getting boxed in, but it looks like everyone's going to survive the first corner, with Chase Elliott now taking place along with William Byron. And several drivers are already making it past the leaders of the Daytona 500. And several more drivers are all messed up with each other, but it looks like that they're just trying to fan out for the most part. Now it's Chase Elliott in second place with Denny Hamlin and William Byron right behind him. They're going to attempt to catch up to the leader, Frontzo Bobbin. Everyone wants to try to prevent Frontzo Bobbin from winning 2 races in a row, and so far they're going to have to go through quite the challenge to do it. But so far, it's only the start of the race, and Chase Elliott is now taking second place away with his Napa Brakes car, along with Denny Hamlin and Bank Coaches himself. Yes, indeed. So Bank Coaches won the Siemens National Series race and now already about to move up to 3rd place in the race. I thought I heard some scraping of the wall back there, but it seems that so far we've had no crashes. And Bank Coach is going to surge underneath Denny Hamlin to take third place away from him. And now Bank Coach now working his way to chase down Chase Elliott for second. And meanwhile, Froito Baba is now just pulling away for the race. Man, Froito Baba and Bank Coach with almost identical looking cars in this race. Oh, what's this? Is that a caution or is it just me being a bit crazy? Nope, never mind, we're still green. Right, hang on a second. Nope, looks like there's a caution. Oopsie daisies, I couldn't quite see the lights, so I do apologize if there was any confusion with the fact that the race was either green. Unfortunately, the cars don't slow down as soon as the yellow flag comes out. When the yellow flag does come out, these cars continue to go fast, and unfortunately, there's no direct way of me telling if the race is under caution or under green, so we do apologize if there was a bit of a confusion. But the caution has come out for the first time at Homestead Miami Speedway, and it looks like that is come out in two different sections of the racetrack. But either way, the field will now slow down and now cruise behind the pace car for a few laps here and there. But before we see what happens next, let's now rewind time and take a look exactly what happened. It looks as if that there was a spin in two different areas of the track, being both on the front straightaway and the back straightaway. It looks like that there was quite a bit of a mess. So we're going to play the part here, and it looks like that there was a bit of spinning out. Oh, yep, there was definitely a spin. Looks like Tim Tom was sideways, so let's see exactly what happened. It looks like that Tim Tom, he was being squished 4 wide between Douglas and Ryan Blaney and Ryan Newman. And it looks like that Tim Tom was squished between drivers. He got caught up on Douglas and was sent spinning around. It looks like that there is no damage being caused, or at least in the front here. If we go back here, though, it looks like Derper, however, he's had a bad scenario. So let's take a look and... Oops. See what's happened from Derper's perspective. It looks like, however, Derper did have some damage. It looks like he got caught up behind Mr. Lighty's brother, and then he was rammed into the rear end by Mr. Lighty. Wow, Mr. Lighty might be out of this race. And then it looks like that Kurt Busch was rammed in the end by Landon Castle. And then Reed Sorensen came in and also got to the bit of an exit. So some damaged cars here at the Homestead Miami Speedway today. However, that was only on the front straightaway. Let's see exactly what happened on the back straightaway, because there were two different incidents in the same thing. I'm not sure where exactly the guy spun out here on the back straightaway. I'm going to find out shortly, though. Oh, it was Truex. Wow, it looks like that, despite the fact that cars come out, these guys over here were still racing for a position, and it looks like that Truex got caught up on William Byron, and Truex was sent spinning around, and Duck had to avoid the mess, but it looks like that Truex is going to make it through the spin cleanly and will still be in the race as it progresses along. So that being said, now let's get back to the pace car, and now fast forward to the moment where the drivers will line up behind the pace car. As you can see right here, it looks like excuse me, not Bank Coach, Froito Bobbin. He's like, look at that, Froito Bobbin. He's driving a red Bank Coach car, which looks exactly like Bank Coach's car, so it's gonna be hard to tell the two cars apart. But that was Froito Bobbin's idea, not mine, so. But yeah, it looks like the field is going to line up here for the most part. So some cars are going to be going to the garage. It looks like, yeah, it looks like that some drivers are going to pit road. It looks like Miss Sly's brother just had a crushed rear end, but so far not the worst of the case. However, some drivers are going to be reporting to pit road. It looks like Derper and Mr. Lighty will be going on to pit road. They may have to fix the damage on the cars, but for the most part, it looks like that they could continue on the race, provided of course they can fix their cars. So 5 cars are damaged, being Derper, Mr. Lighty, Landon Castle. Oh, it looks like that 2 guys are going to retire already. And it looks like now Kurt Busch is pulling up here with a very damaged car. It looks like some drivers are not going to retire, but some drivers are going to retire from the race, so those guys are going to be in a bit of a pickle as time goes on. But meanwhile, let's now fast forward to the point where we come down pit road. So our people are going to go down pit road. It looks like that they're not. We're still very early in the race, so nobody is going to come on the pit road this time by. At least none of the on-track cars are. Although we might see some of the other cars. Oh yeah, it looks like that Mr. Lighty. It looks like they wow, they tore off the front end of Mr. Lighty's car. And they also tore off some parts of Derper's car. And the same thing goes for Kurt Busch's car. So it's not a good start to the day for these guys. But for the most part, some drivers have made it through. So we're going to fast forward some more to the start. It looks like, yeah, no one's going to go on the pit road. So the pace car is going to have its pace lights go out this time by. Meaning that next time by we will most likely be going green. And that is indeed the case. Pace lights are now out on the pace car. And it looks like that no one is going to be coming up to the front row. So it looks like that everyone's going to be single file as we will be going back green shortly. Let's now fast forward some more just so we don't want to waste your time too much. But as the field will now be single file on the start, so it may take a considerable amount of time for there to possibly develop another crash. Although it seems that for the most part the reason why there was a couple of incidents was because that there were various drivers running too wide with each other. But since on this start people will be starting single file, it should reduce the possibility of another accident happening. But you never know, another accident could form as the race progresses along. We'll just have to see as time goes along. But either way, the pace car is now on the pit road. And green flag is underway once again at Homestead. A clean start for both of these guys, but Bank Coaches is already looking underneath Chase Elliott. And now it looks like that Bank Coaches is already going to be taking second place, and looks like several more drivers are now playing with their positions. Bank Coaches is going to make it past Chase Elliott, as it looks like that Bank Coaches had a better start, and now Bank Coaches now trying to chase down his teammate-in-law, Fronito Bobbin. And it looks like Chase Elliott's going to get shoved to the outside lane with Denny Hamlin now passing by him. You know, Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin did have some previous sausage at Martinsville last year. But it looks like that not too much is going to happen as of right now. The real Xbox nerd is now right behind Denny Hamlin, and it looks like he's going to try to overtake him for third place, and indeed he will. And the real Xbox nerd is going to almost clear Denny Hamlin. It looks like he's still right up next to Denny Hamlin as they go down the back straightaway. And it looks like the real Xbox nerd is going to be a bit side by side with Denny Hamlin. Nope, Denny Hamlin flies to the outside lane, and the real Xbox nerd will take third place away. So now now teammates Bank Coaches and the real Xbox nerd are now alongside each other, and with teammate-in-law Fronito Bobbin now in first place. So it's top Chevy drivers in 1, 2, and 3, 1 Toba Motorsports drivers, and 2 YouTube Motorsports drivers. Of course, these two drivers do have an alliance with each other, but let's see if that alliance proves to be a thing on the racetrack. But it looks like that Chase Elliott's going to try to chase down the real Xbox nerd and take his position away. Not going to be an easy task though. We'll have to see what happens as the race progresses though. So who knows? Bank Coaches won the CMS Tactical Series race. There is a chance that he could sweep the weekend. We'll have to see him see if he can chase down Fronito Bobbin though for the lead. So far, Bank Coaches doing a solid job at holding his position, but like I said, he is going to have to chase down chase down Fronito Bobbin for the lead. But it looks like, speaking of Chase Elliott, it looks like he is looking under the real Xbox nerd. Chase Elliott going to attempt an overtake on the real Xbox nerd for that position. Every position matters here in the NASCAR Skittles Cup Series, and Chase Elliott proving that right now, putting in all of his power to try to overtake and chase down the real Xbox nerd. So far, not doing a super job at it, but it looks like that the real Xbox nerd is going to be trying to overtake his teammate, Bank Coaches. Yep, YouTube Motorsports battle right here, and it looks like that the real Xbox nerd is now going to dig underneath his teammate, Bank Coaches. Yeah, it looks like a bit of a teammate battle here. Like I said, YouTube Motorsports drivers, of course, YouTube Motorsports downside itself. So this is the entirety of YouTube Motorsports now side by side with each other. But it looks like that Bank Coach is going to be thrown to the outside lane, and Chase Elliott is going to get by him for third place. Chase Elliott running fairly well in this race so far, and doing his best to try to take, get his first win in the NASCAR Skittles Cup Series. Chase Elliott hasn't done it yet, but who knows, he possibly could. Oh, it looks like Kyle Busch is going on the bottom lane. I'm not sure what's up with Kyle Busch, but it looks like that he may have had a problem with his car, as Kyle Busch now just pulled out of the pack. So not sure what's up with Kyle Busch in this race. Yeah, it looks like Bank Coaches, however, has lost a few positions. So here is Chase Elliott attempting to chase down the real Xbox nerd. So it's Chevy in 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the Camaro that we're talking about. Camaro is a brand new car that Chevy is now put into the NASCAR Skills Cup Series due to the fact that they canceled the Chevrolet Super Sport line, which was a little bit of a shame. You know, Floyd Bobbin, he did quite like the Chevrolet Super Sport, having driven one for 5 years for all of its existence. But Floyd Bobbin, at the same time, he does very much like this new Camaro. As if you said about the YouTube Motorsports drivers, and well, all the drivers in general, or the drivers that are able to experience this quite cool-looking car, I will say. But now, here's Bancoach looking underneath Chase Elliott. Bancoach could take the position back, and we could see a 1-2-3 team-affiliated drivers. It's going to be tough, though. Very tough indeed. Bancoach is doing all he can, though. Here's Can't Drive here. He might be a bit of a on-track obstacle. Oh, what's this? Another caution's come out. Ooh. Alright, then we're going to have to find out what this is for. So, the second caution at Homestead. So that's going to be the first race season where you have had multiple cautions, but a second caution has come out. I wonder what this could possibly be for. We're going to find out soon enough. Oh, it looks like someone managed to hit the wall there. We're going to have to see what exactly happened in that accident. But here is now Floyd Bobbin once again. Now going to have to race up to the pace car. So that's going to be the second caution in Homestead. And the third caution of the Skittles Cup Series season. Well, actually, no, fourth caution, actually. We did get two cautions in the Daytona 500. One happened fairly early in the race. Another happened fairly late in the race. This is two early cautions in the race, so we're going to have to see exactly what happened. So let's now rewind time once again. And rewind exactly up to the point where the lights came on to the pace car. So, rewinding quite a bit. Yeah, it looks like Kyle Busch was just coming out of pit road when it looks like there was an accident here. And indeed, well, actually I say indeed, someone scraped the wall. Oh, it was Douglas. What happened to Douglas here? Wow. Okay, so it looks like that Jimmy Johnson was trying to get underneath Douglas when Jimmy Johnson made a bit of a hard turn on Douglas. And that caused Douglas to spin out. And then get to Gary Jones. And Douglas was pushed into the wall. Oh dear. Douglas has now incurred some damage. Luckily, the field has missed him. And it looks like Douglas now has a really messed up rear end. So we're going to have to see what exactly happens now. So we'll see what happens to Douglas. But meanwhile, we're going to get back to Fronito Bobbin. Not Clipboard, Fronito Bobbin. And we'll fast forward to when they got behind the pace car. So, two cautions in the race. That is not something that you see every day. It looks like the field is now just catching up. It looks like that Truex, it looks like he's making his way back up from the spin. And it looks like Daniel Suarez, he was on, or no, it looks like Daniel Suarez going on to pit road. I'm not sure why exactly Daniel Suarez is going to pit road. We're going to have to find out shortly. But meanwhile, oh, thank you said about Eric Almirola and Donald as well. So, and Paul Menard. Okay, it looks like quite a few of the guys going on pit road, including Mommy as well. So we'll see what Mommy's strategy is. You know, Mommy, she crashed out of the Daytona 500, so quite a bit of ground to make up. So see exactly what she does going into pit road. But it looks like that some of these guys are either going on for possibly tire changes. Yeah, it looks like that some of these guys are going for full tank of fuel and a change of tires. It looks like that they're trying a strategy. Can't Drive is also one of these guys, so we'll see how much of an obstacle that Can't Drive proves to be as time goes on. It looks like that they were able to repair Douglas's car though, and they did that by absolutely ripping off the rear end of his car. So Douglas currently running in 39, so not a good day for him as of so far. But for these guys, you know, they're just trying to race him on the track at this point. So let's see what happens next. So anyone gonna come on the pit road this time? No indeed. So no takers this time, and everyone's gonna stay on the racetrack. And it looks like that these guys will not catch up. So Daniel Suarez. So a lot of these guys are now quite back in the field, although Mommy has been in the back in the field for quite some time. And it's gonna be said about Can't Drive. So let's now fast forward some more. And it looks like that the caution lights have not gone on the pace car. So it looks like we're gonna have to do another lap around Homestead before we can get back to the green flag. So now circling the track just a bit more. And this time the lights will go out on the pace car. So, there's Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch currently in dead last. So Kyle Busch, he's now going to pull up to here. And now he's going to start alongside Froita Bob. And it looks like that Kyle Busch is going to try to get his lap back. And same thing about Douglas as well. So it looks like that a couple of these guys will be at the front of the field when we go green. So Kyle Busch and Douglas will be at the front of the field. No one else, however, though. This is gonna make for a very interesting research. So despite the fact that Kyle Busch and Douglas are a lap down, they are going to start up here anyways and see if they make up any positions. So we'll have to see if it actually works, though. And we are green flag once again at Homestead. Oh, despite the fact that Kyle Busch is a lap down, he might try to do some things. Wow, okay, we have some jams up here. It looks like the Chase Elliott try to get around these guys, but it looks like the Chase Elliott is gonna get so held up by some of these guys. Man, look at that Chase Elliott trying to power his way past Douglas and several other people. Now trying to chase down Kyle Busch. This is a very wacky restart. It looks like that Bank Coach is gonna get held up by Douglas, so we'll have to see what Bank Coach might just be able to do as the race goes along. But we'll have to see exactly what happens. Some of these guys, very, very wacky restart. Now, Kevin Harvick is now just beneath Chase Elliott and trying to make it past all these slow cars. It looks like already Kyle Busch and Donald have quite a bit of spots. Meanwhile, Froito Bobbin and the Real Xbox have made it clean of the messed up start, and they will continue on. And it looks like now Persep is up here as well. Persep trying to make up some positions on Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick, although it looks like that Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick are going to battle it for quite some time. Chase Elliott's going to go underneath Kevin Harvick, and the two are going to now battle each other for third place for a considerable amount of time, but it looks like that now the Real Xbox Nerd and Froita Bob have a save the pack, and Real Xbox Nerd not too far behind Froita Bob as well to see if a battle for the lead develops there. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott now trying his best to chase down Kevin Harvick, although he is struggling a bit to do so. So this is going to make for an interesting battle for third place. But, like I said before, here is Chase Elliott trying to push, or at least somewhat move Kevin Harvick out of his way. Oh, I did hear some contact in the wall. And caution once again. Holy moly. A third caution has come out at Homestead. Man. It seems to me it's come to the point where we can't seem to complete too many laps without cautions. Holy moly moly. Are we gonna... Is this just gonna be the theme for the race? Are we just gonna see 7 billion cautions here and there? But yet another caution has come out at Homestead. Let's see exactly what's happened here this time. I heard some crashing against the wall, so something definitely happened. We'll see exactly what did happen. Yep, I definitely heard some scraping on the wall. Exactly who did it though. Oh wow, a spin from Keselowski. Let's see exactly what happened here. So it looks like that these guys try to... Oh, see, looks like these guys try to pull off an interesting move, but Brian Coach just got stuck on the outside of Brad Keselowski. Then the two came into the corner, going into turn number 3. Brian Coach is trying to keep up with Keselowski, but Keselowski got stuck with Brian Coach, and the two will smack into the wall. And it looks like there was a... Holy moly! It's a big pile up at the front straightaway at Homestead. Many, many, many good cars have been taken out of this race now. Holy moly, the crash just piled in. Yeah, it looks like that Bank Coach was trying to solve these guys, and Joey Logano went for quite the airborne. Let's see what happened with Logano here. It looks like that now. Holy moly, more incidents here. Douglas not having a good day so far. Got into Clint Boyer, and the two on the outside. Joey Logano smashed into the end of Thingamajiggy, and several guys just piled in. A big pile up on the front straightaway of Homestead. Several cars are going to be going to the garage after this. Oh, and the can drive just smacked into the end of Kurt Busch. And it looks like the can drive is going to wind up with a blown engine. So that means that can drive is going to officially be out of this race. And how many other blown engines do we have in this crash? Not many have noticed. It looks like that Jay McMurray was able to somewhat get out of this wreck. Let's see what happened from Jay McMurray's angle. Let's actually see this from the helicopter camera, so let's get a good analysis of what happened here. So it looks like that Jay McMurray was just racing along the track, then the wreck happened, then Douglas gone to Donald, and it looks like that Jay McMurray went for a wild ride after smashing into the end of Bank Coaches, and then get hit by Bubba Wallace and Mr. Lighty's brother. Wow. So overall, a very, very big accident, and it looks like that several more cars are going to the garage as a result of this accident. Not a good day for a few of these guys. It looks like some drivers are going to make it out so clean though, but Bank Coaches now with a very messed up rear end. Man, Bank Coaches. Oh, it looks like a couple other blown engines here with Brad Keselowski and Kurt Busch. Wow. Kurt Busch already had some damage from the earlier crash, so he might just be out of this race now. So it's overall a very sausage day for some of these guys. Especially for Bank Coaches though. Bank Coaches was running really well. Bank Coaches, they might just be able to fix damage on Bank Coaches' car, although we have to see exactly if they'll be able to continue on with the race. But it looks like now Keselowski will be coming down the pit road, so he might either retire from the race or we might see something else happen. But overall, this has become a very chaotic and crash-filled race. It looks like some of these other guys, however, are coming down the pit road. Yeah, all these guys, pretty much the entire field. But let's keep it focused on Keselowski, and let's see what's gonna happen with Keselowski. He's got a blown engine, so he might retire from the race, but it looks like that a ton of these guys are now coming down the pit road, so we're gonna have to see exactly what happened behind Floyd Bobbin in a minute. But it looks like literally the entire field has come down the pit road, but let's see exactly what happens with Keselowski, and then we'll rewind time and see exactly what happened. And it looks like Keselowski's now out of the race. Let's go back, let's go to Floyd Bobbin's camera angle. Yeah, it looks like that. Everyone was sausagizing behind the pace car, and it looks like that literally the entire field has now come down on pit road. So it looks like that. Well, let's see exactly who is in pit road and who's not. It looks like that the vast majority of these guys have now come down on pit road, including Eric Jones and Nia. Looks like Nia came in a bit hot there, but literally everybody in the entire field is now coming down pit road, either to fix the damage or to do some other things to the car, or just to do a bit of a service. So let's head back to Floyd Bobbin's perspective. So the entire field, literally the entire field has now come down to pit road. It looks like that everyone is going to get a change of tires and a full tank of fuel, which is not unusual at Homestead. Some would say that we might see a bit of a strategy going here, but it looks like that literally everyone has come down the pit road for a service. So pit road is extremely busy as of right now. Indeed, several cars now changing their tires and getting a tank of fuel. Looks like Floyd Bobbin's in mostly of a good spot. I don't know what happened to Bank Coach. We'll have to see exactly what happens to him as the race progresses along, but it looks like that Floyd Bobbin's going to be the first one off of pit road, and we'll have to see how the field lines up behind the pace car. Some people are going to make it out a bit interestingly. It looks like these guys came out double file, so that's going to make for an interesting starting lineup. But all these guys are going to come out of pit road accordingly. Some guys, however, not come out of pit road yet, but some of these guys are, either with a clean car or some damage here and there. Looks like Mommy's come out of pit road quickly, along with Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, it looks like Mommy did have some damage to her car, and for the most part has been fixed. So Mommy does have a slightly crunched up car, but overall will continue the race, and including Eric Jones. But it looks like some of these guys, however, are not so lucky and are going to have to fix up their cars if they want to continue on with the race. So the field will line up accordingly behind the pace car. So yeah, so some drivers now more drivers now out of this race. But some drivers are continuing on in the race. We'll see exactly what they do for the next few laps though. Oh, what's this? Did I just hear something? Oh yeah, it looks like some of these guys are now catching up to the lead pack. So some of these guys are very, very back in the pack. So we'll have to see exactly what they do, like I said, as the race progresses. So we're going to continue on and get the pace car back on the front straightaway. So we'll see if the lights go out. In the meantime, we'll take a look at the field of cars, and everyone will line up accordingly behind the pace car. And it looks like that everyone that was on pit road just simply retired. So currently 30 cars, well actually not 30 cars, but a certain number of cars are remaining in the race. So the caution lights are out on the pace car, so we will be going green next time by. So we'll just fast forward. Oh, never mind. Hang on. Let's take a look at this stuff here. It looks like a couple of these guys. So it looks like Kyle Busch and Douglas will once again line up alongside Froito Bobbin and Kevin Harvick. And it looks like that the real Xbox nerd lost a few positions. But it looks like, however, Martin Truex Jr. has been able to rebound after a spin before the first caution of the race. So the field will line up accordingly. Oh, whoa. Oh, never mind. The pace car is just now pulling on the pit road. And the field will restart like this as we once again come off of turn number 4 for yet another restart in the race. Let's see exactly what happens, man. Not even the Siemens National Series race was this caution field, but we have seen quite a few cautions in this race so far. But green flag, we're underway once again at Homestead Miami Speedway. Already several positions being sausagized. It looks like that the real Xbox nerd tried to get. Oops, daisy. Oops. Anyways, I was just trying to say, the real Xbox nerd is now trying to move up spots, but it's very difficult, however. You know, now, look, like, all these guys getting held up by all these crippled cars here. I don't know why in the world Douglas doesn't start at the tail end of the field, despite the fact that he has damage, but that's just Air 2003 logic for you. But Froito Bobbin will once again make it clear, and I heard some crumbling, and it looks like that we have yet another caution! Oh my goodness! Not even one lap made and already yet another caution at Homestead. Man, oh man, this race has been so caution-filled. I don't know what is it about this race, but we have yet another caution. What could this possibly be for? Let's take a look once again. So I have yet another caution out of Homestead Miami Speed. What has happened this time? Oh, even more crashing. Wow, Oliver this time is involved. Let's see exactly what happens here. So it looks like now these guys try to jockey for position, and they messed up. William Byron got into Oliver, and Oliver got into Douglas, and it caused a chain reaction and Douglas to be taken out, and along with Oliver, and more pileups, which means more bent and blown engines. It's the same story once again at Homestead Miami Speedway. More blown engines and more retired cars. Let's take a look at this crash again from the helicopter camera. But basically a very similar scenario as last time. If you just look here at the helicopter camera, Oliver got into Douglas, and this has resulted in even more mangled up and torn up cars. People trying to avoid the accident, but everyone just could not quite do it so well. So that's going to be more bent. That's going to result in more bent up cars and more crushed dreams for some of these drivers. Wow. So now Paul Menard car is blown up. Mommy's car, despite already receiving damage, now blown up. And Daniel Suarez as well. We mentioned him earlier. Daniel Suarez doing a bit of stuff. But now he has a blown engine. So lots of these guys having blown engines. Looks like Oliver actually managed to get out of the situation somehow. So some guys will survive this scenario. I'm not sure what Clint Boyd's doing off the racetrack in the grass. That's a very bad place to be. Yeah, so this has resulted in more blown engines and more mangled up cars. So let's see how many people come onto pit road. This is the pit lane 2 camera, by the way. So let's see exactly who comes onto pit road. Yeah, it looks like someone's coming onto pit road. That is someone. Yeah, it looks like Jimmy Johnson, Clint Boyer, Duck, Nia, Oliver, Daniel Suarez. So some of these guys going into pit road, guys and gals, I should say. So some people have resulted with a blown engine. So more people now retiring from the race. This has been a chaotic race, it turns out. And now Paul Menard, another person with a blown engine. It looks like this has just become a crash-filled race. And look at that, we're not even close to halfway in the race yet. We've already had so many blown engines and broken up cars. It's madness at this point. So Paul Menard, another person going to retire from the race. But it looks like that Jimmy Johnson's going to continue the race, despite having some damage on the race car. So some cars, so more bent up race cars. Holy moly. And the field is getting smaller as the race progresses. It looks like, if we can tell, it looks like Rebecca has some damage. It looks like she was rear-ended at some point during the race. Not sure exactly when that happened, but some of these guys now just coming off of pit road. So more cars will line up behind the pace car. But this is going to result into a long race, however. This is only lap number 31. We've already had 4 cautions. Oh yeah, it looks like more guys on pit road must have retired from the race. So It looks like some cars try to repair the damage in a way, but no luck. So, more cars, yep, more broken cars and more ended days for some of these guys. Man, oh man, you know, people, like, after the Siemens Nexus race yesterday, many people thought that this race was just going to be another one of those endurance races. However, it has been not much of an endurance race, more of a crash-filled race, and people having to be slowed down by cautions. I mean, of course, that is a part of NASCAR, and crashes are a part of racing, but the amount of ones that we've seen today, however, have been very big. So once again, however, it looks like Kyle Busch is going to line up with these guys once again. However, I'm sure that Donald would have lined up, but now Donald is officially out of this race, and so Donald will not be able to continue the race. Some of these other guys, however, will be still in the race, so we'll just fast forward up until we get to mid-turn, between off turn before. So, yeah. So we're going to have another restart in the race. Holy moly. Seriously, the amount of cautions that we've had in this race has been insane. And we're not even halfway there yet. We still have a long way to go in the race. Who knows? We might even only have a few cars left. But green flag is out once again at Homestead Miami Speedway, and the field will once again start accordingly. It looks like Kyle Busch is already falling out and losing his positions. But, oh well, that happens, I suppose. Alright, let's see if we can have a clean start this time. It looks like several more of these guys are now double file. That is the thing here at Homestead. People, it looks like that they really love to run double file, and that has resulted into some accidents. However, crazily enough, we have no accidents yet to report, although it seems that turn 4 is very difficult for these guys, and we've seen quite a few accidents already today. But it looks like that the field will survive this time, and it looks like that we will have mostly a clean restart. At least so far we have. Yep, green light is, the light is still green, and it looks like that for the most part we have made it out of the restart. Going to Bob and now just pulling away, but several of these guys are now all boxed in with each other. Here's the real Xbox nerd going underneath Purser, along with Chase Elliott as well, and several other guys being thrown to the outside lane. Yeah. It seems the theme for the day is just people just getting boxed into each other and then wrecked. And some of these guys have tried to avoid these crashes, but some guys just not so lucky. And some drivers have wound up with cars, well, like I said, bent up cars and blown engines. Dear oh dear. But it looks like for the most part so far we're clean, so let's see how many green flag laps we can get completed, because of course we can't really be here all night. You know, this is a video and has to end at some point. But this has resulted in a fairly long-ish race. But, I mean, that's just because of the cautions. The cautions are the main thing that have dragged this race out for the most part. It seems that for the most part, everyone is trying to control their cars as people are trying to tone down the amount of crashes that have already happened in this race. Especially considering that it's only lap number 47. We have 81 laps to complete, for goodness sake. But it might just be a matter of time before the next crash, or there could never be a crash. Or there might never be a crash in this race. Who knows? We might just go the whole rest of the race without a single caution. We'll have to see how exactly that works, though. So, yeah, so far, clean racing for the most part. And now Florence Bob is now storming away in first place. He got a very good restart and is so far showing it. But here is the real Xbox nerd now in second place. The real Xbox nerd is going to try to chase down Florence Bob. Meanwhile, we have a battle for third here between Chase Elliott and Purser. Purser now doing his best to try to get under Chase Elliott and take the position away from him. Might take a little bit of a while to do that, but Purser is executing it somewhat well until that corner. Looks like Martin Truex Jr. is going to be thrown to the outside lane, but it looks like now Denny Hamlin's going to get underneath Percy Serp. So now it's a side-by-side battle between those two. So here is Denny Hamlin doing his best to get by Percy Serp. The two are battling each other. This is now for 4th place. This is a 4th place battle right here. And here is Martin Truex Jr. now running in 6th place. So Truex hasn't been affected that badly after his spin. But here is Denny Hamlin now getting past Percy Serp. And it looks like that Denny Hamlin's going to take 4th place away from him. And now Denny Hamlin's going to try to chase up, or get up to Chase Elliott. And it looks like now we might get some green flag laps in. It looks like for the most people are just trying to remain calm at this point because everyone just wants to get this race done. In fact, crazily enough, we're nearly halfway in the race. And despite the fact that we've had so many cautions, it seems now the amount of cautions has, well, the amount of strikes that I see is decreasing in a way. But of course, that's only for the time being. We could see another crash anytime now. But we are nearly halfway through the race. And now we have remained clean since the caution, and so far everyone has now remained single file. It looks like now it's come to the point in the race where we might just see a endurance race until the end. Here's Perzer. Oh, it looks like Perzer being going to the outside lane. Kyle Larson's going to take the inside lane. You don't usually see Kyle Larson running on the inside lane. Kyle Larson usually likes to run the outside lane. But it looks like now Kyle Larson's going to run the inside lane just in case the worst happens. And Perzer is going to lose a few spots. Here's Richard running up here at 8th. Yeah, so now, you know, it could be a considerable time until we see the real Xbox turn catch up to Freund Bobbin, though. It could happen. Freund Bobbin could fall off or possibly have a terrible mistake which could ruin his day, but we'll have to wait a while for that to actually happen. So, only 25 cars, however, remaining in the race, so the field has shrunk by quite a bit. So it looks like now, if we take a look, 24 cars, right? Or 25 actually, because Kyle Busch is all the way back here. I don't know what's over with Kyle Busch's car, though. You know, Kyle Busch, he had a very similar situation happen to him in the Siemens Series race. Kyle Busch, he was running up for a while, then Kyle Busch, he had engine problems after being involved into an early race or a lap 1 crash in the Siemens Series race, and now it's the same scenario for Kyle Busch, and now he's having the same problem happen to him here in the Skittles Cup Series race. I don't know why Kyle Busch doing so badly, though. You know, usually Kyle Busch does not, or he does somewhat well. I heard crunching on the wall. Green flag is still out, though. No caution. But here's Freund Bobbin now pulling away from the real Xbox nerd. We could see the real Xbox nerd catch up to Freund Bobbin, but Freund Bobbin is going to have to make a bit of a mistake. And that's our point. Well, I don't know. It might take a little while for Freund Bobbin to catch up to Clint Boyer, though. It could happen. Don't doubt it. It could happen, but it could take a while to happen. So we're gonna have to see how long it takes to happen. That sounds a bit silly, but I mess up my words now and again. But either way, here's Freund Bobbin now pulling away from the real Xbox nerd. No battles in sight, though. It looks like Percer, however, it looks like Percer managed to claw back his position somehow. And now it looks like Percer is trying to get around Martin Truex Jr. But at the same time, Martin Truex Jr. is trying to get around Chase Elliott. So it's a triple battle for 4th place. We could see some overtakes being carried out here at Homestead. Question is, how long will it take to happen? Oops, didn't mean to go over that. Oh, sorry for that. Man, I just messed up the camera angles a bit here. But either way, here is Truex trying to overtake Chase Elliott. So, and Percer is trying to overtake Martin Truex Jr. So, it's become a 3-way battle for 4th place. But it looks like here is Truex able to execute the path in one way or another. And it looks like he's going to try to get around Chase Elliott. The two are battling each other quite well. But we'll have to see exactly how long it takes for the overtake to occur. But here's Freund Bobbin continuing to take the lead. But things are going to happen as soon as Freund Bobbin catches up to Clint Boyer. And here's Percer now attempting to get around Martin Truex Jr. for the position. He is somewhat doing it. Although it seems hard for Percer to get underneath Truex. It is not the hardest thing in the world to get underneath someone at Homestead that we've seen. You know, we saw that in the NASCAR Siemens Series race. It was a battle for a considerable amount of time between bank coaches and Kevin Harvick. Eventually that battle faded away after pit stops. But here's Kyle Larson now trying to chase down Percer for 6th place now. So these battles are all over the place. And now we have Chase Elliott trying to chase down Denny Hamlin for position. It could happen, but it's going to take a little while to happen. So either way, here is Freund Bobbin now leading still. And here is Chase Elliott trying to chase down Denny Hamlin for the position. It's going to be very difficult to do so. So, at least for these guys it is. It seems Freund Bobbin and the real Xbox are now just running away from the pack. The real Xbox is trying to chase down Freund Bobbin. but at the same time he's trying to keep his car in one piece after the accidents that we have seen today. It looks like that Bank Coach has officially retired from the race. Yes, indeed. No more Bank Coaches in the race. Bank Coach is gone. So Bank Coach will not sweep the weekend at Homestead, unfortunately. At Bank Coach, he's only going to have 2 more attempts to sweep the weekend now. Bank Coach will be taking part in 2 more Steam Championship Series races this year. He could win either one of those races and maybe sweep the weekend. But we're going to have to see if that happens. But Bank Coach is not going to be able to sweep the weekend today. Although we could see Floyd Baldwin go 2 in a row and win in a very similar paint scheme to Bank Coach's paint scheme in the Steam Championship Series race. You know, Floyd Baldwin is being sponsored by Bank Coaches in this race, a partnership that has remained since 2014. And Floyd Baldwin has been sponsored by Bank Coaches for quite a few years now, really, ever since 2014 when Tobal Motorsports and YouTube Motorsports formed an alliance with each other. Looks like the real Xbox Nerd, however, is slowly but surely catching up to Floyd Baldwin. We could see a battle for the lead develop sooner or later, but the real Xbox Nerd is expected to catch up to Floyd Baldwin, and the real Xbox Nerd not worry about too much, because there is quite a lot of time remaining in the race itself. So the real Xbox Nerd could catch up to Floyd Baldwin, and we could see a battle for the lead possibly go on all the way till the end of the race, either until pit road. Although the real Xbox Nerd could then just catch up to Floyd Baldwin, and we could then see a battle go on all the way until the end of the race. Who really knows, though? But either way, the real Xbox Nerd is slowly but surely reeling in Floyd Baldwin. It's gonna be a battle between 2 teammate-in-laws, and the only 2 of these left in the race. So Bank Coaches will not, of course, like I said before, Bank Coaches will not be able to battle for the lead, but we still have Bank Coaches' teammate in the race. The real Xbox Nerd, he's a legendary YouTube pooper, you know, Floyd Baldwin did go up to the real Xbox Nerd and ask him, would you like to run a couple of Steam Nexus races, because Floyd Baldwin did make a deal with the YouTube Motorsports drivers, and here's Floyd Baldwin catching up to Clint Boyer. It looks like Floyd Baldwin will flawlessly move by Clint Boyer, and the same will go for the real Xbox Nerd. So both drivers will make it past Clint Boyer flawlessly, and the chase for the lead by the real Xbox Nerd will continue. He did get a bit scrubbed up by Clint Boyer, but overall, not the worst case scenario. But as I was saying before, the real Xbox Nerd, you know, of course, when Floyd Baldwin built his team for the NASCAR Steam Championship Series, Floyd Baldwin went up to his YouTube Motorsports friends and asked them if they would like to drive the over 9000 car for a few races. Bank Coach said yes, because Bank Coach was lacking a bit of speed after last season. While the real Xbox Nerd just came up with a straight, I don't need no Steam Championship Series race. So that's therefore the real Xbox Nerd has just remained a full-time driver in NASCAR Skills Cup Series driver, and the real Xbox Nerd has been racing regularly since 2012. The real Xbox Nerd's rookie season was in the 2012 season. The real Xbox Nerd didn't win any races in that season, and didn't really win any races in 2013. They did win did win a couple races in 2014, and the real Xbox Nerd has won races in the past, and now he's trying to win his first race in the new Camaro. Real Xbox Nerd, he does quite like this Camaro, and he wants to get his first win in it in this race, and he has plenty of time to do it. Although he's going to have to eventually pick up the pace, though. But Floyd Baldwin is soon going to be running into some more lap traffic. Yep, here is Floyd Baldwin now about to catch up to the slow cars. Looks like he's about to catch up to Duck with a fairly damaged car from the accident. In fact, it seems that almost as if some of the only cars that have been damaged are the 2 leaders right here, Floyd Baldwin and the real Xbox Nerd. So far in this race, their cars have remained flawless and have barely been touched at all. In fact, haven't been touched at all in the first place. But here's Floyd Baldwin now just swiftly moving on by Duck, the Great Western engine. And now Floyd Baldwin now about to make his way around Mr. Lighty. He's going to get very close to Mr. Lighty, but the 2 are not going to make any contact. And it's going to be a smooth overtake for, not the position, but for the lap. And now here's the real Xbox Nerd now repeating the same thing. Real Xbox, he's going to lose a bit of speed from these lap cars, though. But at the same time, he's trying his best. And here is the real Xbox Nerd, even still continuing to chase down Floyd Baldwin. We've had a caution-free race ever since the last caution, So we might just not see any cautions in the rest of this race, which would be quite cool because we've had quite a bit of cautions. This is going to result into a fairly long race. But it looks like that Frontline to Bob and the real Xbox are going to hold together. We'll have to see if the rest of the field hold it together, because if we see another caution, that's going to allow the real Xbox to get right up behind Frontline to Bob, and that's going to allow the two of them to be right next to each other in battle. But it looks like that will not be necessary, and the real Xbox nerd continuing to chase down Frontline to Bob. And anyways, enough blabbing about that. Let's see what's happening back here. It looks like that Danny Hamlin was able to get by Chase Elliott. Looks like Trix makes losing 50%. Birdsharp has fallen all the way back down to 8th with Gridgen in 7th. So midfield not doing too much. But yeah, a total of about 26 to 25 cars. And I think it was 25 cars as a whole remaining in the race. Let's just see. Yeah, for the most part, only 25 cars remain in the race. Indeed, we started this race with 42 cars, and after various crashes, only 25 remain on the racetrack. So, some drivers have had their days ended in blown engines and torn up race cars, but one of these two guys, either Freud's above or the real Xbox Nerd, will be ending their day in victory lane. Or I say one of these two guys, it could be someone else if something happens as the race progresses along. But if that doesn't happen, however, one of these two guys will be ending their day in victory lane. But the question still remains, is it going to be Freud to Bobbin, or is it going to be the real Xbox Nerd? The real Xbox Nerd is still doing everything in his power to chase down Freud to Bobbin, and the real Xbox Nerd is able to gain slight ground on him, but overall he's not able to catch up to him. Here's Cowboy still going very slow on the racetrack. I'm not sure why Cowboy's going so slow though. I don't know if it was, if they messed up with the build of his car back at JGR. But for the most part, I mean, it looks like for the most part, Cowboys doesn't have that damage of a race car. Actually, that's a lie. His rear spoiler looks a little bit crunched up. Actually, that's just in our 2003 graphics. So I don't know what's up with Cowboy's car. He had the exact same happen to him in the same National Series race, and now it's continued with him in the Skittles Cup Series race. Weird. Kind of crazy how some things from the Siemens Nexus race can carry on with you in the Skills Cup Series race. That is, if you took part in both of those races, which is something that Kyle Busch and a few other guys did. But it looks like looks like Floyd to Bob is gonna get held up by Mr. Lighty's brother. That's gonna slow down Floyd to Bob severely. Oh, Floyd to Bob makes contact with Mr. Lighty's brother, but the Mr. Lighty's brother eventually moves out of the way. But that is going to slightly hamper Floyd to Bob's momentum. Oh, but it looks like that the same is going to have the real Xbox Nerd struggling to get around Mr. Lighty's brother. The two are going to touch, but the real Xbox Nerd is going to somewhat successfully make it around. And now these two are going to have the exact same gap as previously. But here is Floyd to Bobbin continuing to pull away. But at the same time, the real Xbox, well, I say pull away, the real Xbox Nerd, he is only just so far behind him, and the real Xbox Nerd, he is trying so hard to catch up to his teammate-in-law, Floyd to Bobbin. But it seems that whenever he catches up to Floyd to Bobbin is then able to pull away slightly. Yep. Either pit stops or restarts might just mess up this battle, but as long as these two stay on the racetrack, Floyd to Bobbin will continue to pull away, or at least keep his lead for the real Xbox Nerd. But that's unless the real Xbox Nerd can get his stuff together and chase down Floyd to Bobbin. I've probably said that like 7,000 times in this race already. That's become the punchline for the race. The real Xbox Nerd trying to chase down Floyd to Bobbin. I'm not the greatest commentator in the entire world, so either way, we have gone quite a number of laps since the last caution. So, but that's not going to stop another caution of this race. Actually, that's a bit of a lie, because it seems that most of these people are now just running single file. And there are so few cars in the race now compared to how the race started. It looks like that most of these guys are now just running single file, so for the most part it's going to be easy for Floyd to Bobbin to pass all the lap cars. Maybe not so easy for the real Xbox Nerd, considering that he has the leader right in front of him. But we'll have to see what happens a considerable amount of time later. Yep. The two are doing their best to try to chase each other down. I mean, say that the real experts are trying to chase down Floyd and Robin, but there's no what I said there. But here is Floyd Bobbin. He is trying his hardest to try to win this race, but at the same time, this is the real Xbox are trying his best to chase down Floyd Bobbin. I know I'm just saying the same thing over and over, but that's because we haven't got really anything else to talk about in this race. So far, most people are just remaining it cool and keeping it cool for the rest of the race. Here's Alex Bowman now just about to get the pass on Kevin Harvick, which is a battle for 9th. Actually, no, it's for 8th. This is Alex Bowman in his first full-time season for Henry Motorsports, and so far doing an okay job at it. And here's Truex now, and Chase Elliott now playing with their positions in a way, and here's Kyle Busch continuing to lose his spots. Although Kyle Busch, it seems that now all of a sudden his cars come together, even though it's happened very late in the race, and he's all the way back in 25th. So, who knows what's going to happen next as the race progresses. I can at least tell you, unless either Carson comes out or these guys pit, Floyd Bobbin might just keep his lead over the real Xbox nerd, and Floyd Bobbin might just go 2 wins in a row. Yeah. You know, how crazy would it be after winning the Daytona 500, you then win the next race straight after that? That would be crazy for Tobal Motorsports. But then again, Tobal Motorsports is known for being a very, very high achieving team. They have won just about everything that there is to win in NASCAR, at least in the Skittles Cup Series, over the years since the initiation of the team in 2003. And Tobal Motorsports is slightly rebuilding themselves with their Siemens National Series program that they have built. But back here in the Cup Series, as the existing program, and one that has existed since, of course, 2003, it is still one of the most, or the most dominant team in the garage. And even as a single car this season, they could still be so dominant. You know? Why bother having 5 cars winning 7 races when you can just have 1 car winning all these races? It's not strange. Floyd Bobbin did win a number of races in 2017 after quite a drought of years from 2014 to 2016. 2017 was definitely a breakout year for Tobal Motorsports, and it looks like that 2018 might just be a continuation of the breakout for Tobal Motorsports, and possibly both the Skittles Cup Series and the NASCAR Siemens National Series. It seems that way so far for both sides, though. Bank Coach is winning the Siemens National Series race, and after getting involved in an accident, we could very well see Floyd Bobbin win here. 2 red cars in victory lanes, fueled by the same team. The real Xbox nerd, however, it seems as I'm giving you all these facts about Floyd Bobbin, it seems over time the real Xbox nerd has slowly but surely caught up to Floyd Bobbin. All the lap times are dropping as the race progresses. The real Xbox nerd did set a slightly faster lap time than Floyd Bobbin that last time by. So I've been saying all this stuff. It looks like now there's been a bit of a commentator's curse, though. So yeah, it looks like all the things that I've said about Floyd Bobbin may have led to him possibly getting caught up by the race, although the real Xbox did have a slightly slower lap that time. But even so, here's Floyd Bobbin still leading after all this time. In fact, Floyd Bobbin has been the only person in first place for this entire race. This is going to be the first race of the season where someone has led for every single lap. Floyd Bobbin started this race on pole position, and despite all the cautions, he has led every single lap in the race. It's not unusual how in the Skittles Cup Series sees someone lead so many laps. You know, Floyd Bobbin didn't lead every single lap in Daytona 500, but he did lead the majority of the ones, and the most important one was the one that mattered in the end, as Floyd Bobbin won Daytona 500. But here is now Floyd Bobbin looking to go for a 2nd win in a row. It could very well happen. It's going to take a considerable amount of time to do so, though. So earlier on I said that the real Xbox Nerd could take to the Freud to Bobbin, but now he only has so many laps to do so. The race is getting closer and closer to the end. What was early on a caution-filled race with many broken cars is now become an endurance race for the finish. Here's the real Xbox Nerd continuing to try to chase down Freud to Bobbin, but Freud to Bobbin still holding it for first. And here he comes. 6 laps to go in the race. This has been another endurance race for the race itself, but Freud to Bobbin is used to these endurance races. He's done several of these things before, and he's having to do it again here at Homestead. And here he is, now attempting to win again. So that very interestingly, but try to ignore that. The real Xbox Nerd, he is trying his best to keep the Freud to Bobbin, but Freud to Bobbin is just able to keep his car together. It looks like they're about to lap Clint Boyer again. They already did lap Clint Boyer, and it looks like I said before, they're going to do it again, which is not something that happens every day. Usually you don't want to get lapped twice, but that's exactly what's happening with Clint Boyer in this race. Dear oh dear. Freud to Bobbin getting slightly held up by Clint Boyer, but he's able to pass him nonetheless. And here's the real Xbox Nerd. Wow, real Xbox Nerd. He kind of drifted his way into the corner. Nearly lost his car there, but was able to hold it together. But here is Freud to Bobbin, looking to get his second win in a row at Homestead. But here is the real Xbox Nerd, trying to do everything in his power to catch up to Freud to Bobbin. It seems almost as if the real Xbox Nerd having the slightly better lines, but the real Xbox Nerd, he only has a few more laps to catch down on Freud to Bobbin, if that even happens in the first place. Who knows? It could happen, it couldn't happen. Maybe. Well, no one really knows, because, like I said, the race is nearly so close to being over. The real Xbox Nerd, he is looking right behind Freud to Bobbin, but the two are still just keeping it together. This race is only so far from being over. 2 laps to go at Homestead. The real Xbox Nerd continuing to chase down Freud to Bobbin, but Freud to Bobbin continuing to keep the lead. It's almost as if Freud to Bobbin just has his race in the bag, despite the fact that he has the real Xbox Nerd in a bit of his rearview mirror. The real Xbox Nerd just not able to catch up to Freud to Bobbin. He is trying his best to catch up to him, but just seems to not be super possible. Despite the lap traffic, the cautions, and the other things, Freud to Bobbin has just kept his car together, but the real Xbox Nerd is stuck right behind him. White flag, 1 more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. It's only 1 more lap. It looks like Freud to Bobbin has this in the bag. Even if the car came out right now, Freud to Bobbin would still be your leader. That's certainly being shown here as Freud to Bobbin still staying out on the racetrack. They went very slow through the corner there though, but not a super impactful thing to happen. Final 2 turns to go. Freud to Bobbin still leading in the race. And here he comes up at turn number 4. Freud to Bobbin is going to go 2 wins in a row in the Cheerios 400 at Homestead. How about that? Just in the second race, a repeat winner in the NASCAR Skittles Cup Series with Freud to Bobbin. His second win of the season. And it comes in just the second race of the season at Homestead. The same place where we'll be seeing the title battle, I suppose. You guys probably also not coming from a mile off, but hey, let's just say that now. But what do you think of that? Frontal Bobbin is going to go 2 in a row. However, in Daytona 500, he did it in the 4013 sponsor car. But this race, he's going to do it in the Bank Coaches sponsor car. The same car that Bank Coaches drove to in the NASCAR Steven Sanchez Series race. So Bank Coaches is going to be seen in victory lane twice in one weekend. Although Bank Coaches is going to be going to victory lane twice. However, it's going to be done by 2 different drivers. Bank Coaches in the Steven Sanchez Series race, and now Frontal Bobbin in the Skittles Cup Series race. So despite the fact that some people did get involved in these accidents, some people were able to eventually finish off the day. Despite the fact they had to tear off the entire front of Mr. Blaze's car, he was able to just pedal on and eventually finish the race. But overall, Homestead, earlier on it was a race of cautions and bent cars and broken dreams. But after that, it was just an endurance race with Frontal Bobbin leading every single lap and the real Xbox nerd coming up short. Kyle Larson now finished 8 seconds back. Holy moly, that is crazy. But anyways, let's not mess around too much, and now let's go over the finishing positions. Winning the race, of course, is Frontal Bobbin. Going to do a 2 races in a row with the real Xbox nerd coming on second, Kyle Larson third, Denny Hamlin fourth, Mark Truex Jr. fifth, Chase Elliott sixth, Alex Bowman seventh, Kevin Harvick eighth, Percy Reserve ninth, Tim Tom 10th, Austin Dillon 11th, Ryan Blaney 12th, William Byron 13th, Ryan Newman 14th, Eric Gunwell 15th, David 6 16th, Jimmy Johnson 17th, Rebecca 18th, Gridger 19th, Mr. Light's brother 20th, Mr. Lighty 21st, Doug 22nd, Oliver 23rd, Clint Boyer 24th, Kyle Busch 25th, Nia 26th, Oliver 27th, Daniel Suarez 28th, Mommy 29th, Paul Menard 30th, Eric Jones 31st, Douglas 32nd, Brad Keselowski 33rd, Bank Coaches 34th, Dirtbird 35th, Bubba Wallace 36th, Kurt Busch 37th, Joey Logano 38th, Jimmy Murray 39th, Kier Drive 40th, Lenny Castle 41st, and around the field and dead last is Reed Sorensen in 42nd. Wow, Bank Coaches with a very bad finish. That is really going to damage his points. And look at that, Mommy. Where is she? Yeah, so she finished in 29th, so due to a piston apparently. So that is going to be the second race of the season that Mommy crashes out of, both in crashes. Mommy was wrecked out in an early race crash at the beginning of the Daytona 500, and she's going to wreck out again here at Homestead. So overall, not a good start to the season for Scuderia Ferrari. I believe that's to pronounce. But anyways, guys, that is all for today's racing. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.